Hello and welcome back to Exeter City. We've got another FA Cup final for you today. It's the second in 2 years. Last year we lost to Arsenal. This year we take on their North London rivals, Tottenham Hotspur. I don't know why I full named them. There's been a little bit of news since the Premier League wrapped up, so I'll get you caught up on that first. I didn't really show you much of this, but we did have the three best players in the division. We're only 8 points off the title, I now realise. I will click through as well just to find out whether or not Manchester City win the Europa League, which of course will happen after the FA Cup goes through. So whether we get 4 teams in the Champions League or 5, I'll let you know that one. But Carlos Eduardo did sneak in to third on the goal scorers list, and considering he was out for 2 months, that's quite impressive. But he did slip to third in the average rating, and Prieto just snuck through in the second half of that season, just inched his way up. Past Carlos Eduardo, past Aaron Martin, who was comfortably second the entire time. It was just Eduardo and Prieto swapped over. And with that 6.66, claimed the Premier League Player of the Season, effectively, is what this award is. With 15 goals and 32 appearances and 11 assists, 6.66 the average rating once again. So naturally, with the top 3 players in the division, we had one person in the Team of the Year. I can excuse Vlahovic because he was the Golden Boot winner. He did get 27 goals, 6 clear of the next person. What I can't forgive is Aaron Martin being behind Kevin Nash, who's a pretty good player, but he got an average rating of 7.14, 1 goal, 5 assists, 2 player of the matches. Aaron Martin got 1 goal, 8 assists, and 6 player of the matches, and a rating that only had him 0.01 behind the best player in the division. Absolutely robbed. The other minor news, and I say minor, is relatively major injuries. Why is Ramiro Uribe now just returning to fitness? That's annoying. Just swap the bench person over then. Sanchez will be in goal. Martin Avalos, of course, no longer suspended. Ampadu and Tibero, the main back four, will be here. Mansley will be alongside Markovic because Hesham got injured. Prazet in front of them with Saunders, Carlos Eduardo and Facundo Prieto up front because our best player, Ciro Fernandez, was injured in that final day match against Chelsea. But thankfully we do have the 3 highest performers still available to us, Eduardo Prieto and Martin, in the team. The midfielders averaging 6.66 in their last 2 games. Minor concern that we're about to summon something. What has also been a slight problem is that in the past week, you may recall there was just something with Jon Berg Henriksen wanted to go out on loan just before the final game of the season. 2 other midfielders got upset about their playing time and wanted to go out on loan in the week in between. Both Toussaint and Fofana are now upset, which is unfortunate. Do they not know that we just got European football? I'm going to be needing you, Lance, that's for sure. But Spurs, I noticed, line up with not even their second choice goalkeeper. Albin Lafont on the bench, who is the first choice goalkeeper. Their backup is Lacademos. Their third choice goalkeeper is Etienne Green, who is, vaguely competent, but has not played a single game for Spurs in the 4 years he's been there. He's joining Lille at the end of the season on a free transfer. So he's literally only going to play 1 game for Spurs, and it's an FA Cup final before he buggers off. What is Football Manager doing? The rest of their team looks like it is full strength, although Cade is playing central midfield. Doesn't matter, Iago scored a free kick. Tiberio's missed interception led directly to the goal being scored. I mean, the wall doesn't jump, so it's not just Tiberio's fault. None of them jump. That's the basic founding principle of a wall in a free kick situation, is that they jump. But because defenders don't jump in Football Manager, even there they're not jumping. Saunders is at the back post, doesn't quite get to him, which might be good because Saunders was, I think, fractionally offside. Never mind, they've intercepted and Hlozek's on the ball. Nearly choked trying to say his name. Hlozek. It's easier than that. I know I can do it. But Kane to Hlozek, Gabriel Jesus, which is just baffling to me because he's obviously at Arsenal now in real life. Ryan Saunders on the ball, and that's cleared. Did we have the highlight? Was there a close chance there at that end? I'm not fully certain there was. Ball's still in play. Highlight has actually ended. There was a chance there that I didn't really pick up on. But yeah, Kane in midfield is kind of curious. Of course, he will be getting massively on at this point, so are they effectively doing like a Regista thing with him, but not a Regista? And what a time for our defender to be injured. Ampadu off, Ballard on, Bash Arms, you've been terrible. And they bring on Renato Sanchez, in fact, for Harry Kane, which isn't a bad substitution. I'm actually kind of annoyed that's a good substitution. Harry Kane probably just aging out a little bit. Oh no, that's cleared for a corner. You know what? Kicking out for a corner there at that time, I'm not as bothered by. The Avalos one in the previous episode, still don't understand what he was doing there. Under no pressure at all. Prieto, clear it. There's a man ahead of you. Run! Run, Carlos or Saunders, whoever that is. Never mind. Just stop and let this chance go to complete waste. Although Prieto will get this ball back again. Hello. Is something actually going to be made of this? No, because they've got the ball clear. Good work, team. Well, it's all well and good them having a third choice goalkeeper in goal if we're not going to have a shot on target. Hazard is dead on his feet already. I say dead on his feet, but he is just really tired. Like, notably more than anyone else on this squad. Martin Saunders will fall back into there and we'll bring on Jan Newbert, whose weak foot... His weak foot is worse than Prieto's weak foot, so I think I'll actually bring him on the right and move Prieto over. Brian Gill, who's actually still at Spurs in this save. Royal. Plozek. Oh, well, it's a goal for them. Never mind. No one's offside. They've run off with their arms up. Why are we bothering with this? Why do we go through this rigmarole every single time? We know it's a goal. They've run off. 30th goal for the season in all competitions. They brought Son on as well, who must also be about 35 as well now, though. Spurs have just finished second this year after possibly being in the running for winning the title, but they're in an odd position because a lot of their players are getting to that point of their career where they're close to retirement. Kane and Son are going to be mid-30s at this stage and basically non-functional. That is the most nonsensical penalty that's ever been given. I mean, it's a penalty, but it's nonsensical how it happened. And one of the best players in the division, 6.1. The best player in the division, 6.3. Why? What? How can we do this? How can we just completely annihilate Chelsea 3-0? Manchester City 6-1. We beat this lot 4-1 already this season, and they had their best goalkeeper in at that point. He's just missed the penalty, I just realised as well. I didn't even really talk over that. Just too busy being furious at the fact we've had no shots on target at all. I can't take Aaron Martin off. He's so good. Small's on. I haven't got any more substitution. I'm doing a Regista. I feel like we need to get the ball up more. We're just not having shots, and I don't really know why. Son's on the ball. It's another good chance. No. You cannot tell me that Football Manager is not scripted. It's counting as Dorrington's goal, that, by the way. It obviously isn't. Corner. Any respect to this game coming back. Carlos Eduardo misses. At least we had a shot on target. Aaron Martin with another free kick. Oh, now are we playing? Prieto scored a goal. It's a bit late now, lads. At least Aaron Martin will leave this game with more than a 6.1. See what happens when you actually get a shot on target? Their goalkeeper's useless. But we've got the ball again and there's still 4 minutes to go. Oh no, never mind. We can't even throw it to our own team, let alone pass it to our own team. Thankfully, Jesus couldn't hit a barn door today. What a ridiculously stupid game. I mean, they deserved the win because we didn't turn up, but how we didn't turn up or why we didn't turn up, major questions have been asked of the engine here. We're on a good run. The morale was fairly high. We've just qualified for the Champions League out of nowhere. Our player's just won Premier League Player of the Year. That player's run out of this game with a 6. Well, actually, no, he wouldn't have run out with a 6.3 because he just scored at the very end. But wasn't a 6.3 just until he scored. It took us to the 80th minute for us to have a shot on target against a team that we beat 4-1 away from home. So at a neutral venue, of course, we're terrible. Flash arms are unacceptable. I really shouldn't have sent my assistant manager to do that press conference. He was far too complimentary of our performance. But the following review is here now that we played the final game. It's annoying going into these on a downer, but here we go. Anyway, Pereira came in, was fabulous. I probably should have played him in the final just because. Cyril Prazzer, by the way, C+. This is mainly due to getting the player to agree to a lower wage than we would have expected to pay for someone of his ability. Not to mention the fact he costs 700 grand, but it's his wage that gives him a C+. But yeah, Pereira, the surprise of the season. Tiberio ended up being a fairly solid player in the end, 7.08 at right back. A far cry from the performances of Castillo and Murillo in the past. I get an A, that's nice. Average home attendance is really solid, even if it's not our stadium yet. The match to remember, of course, being the first game of the season, where we beat Arsenal 5-3 in that ridiculous opening day fixture. Goal of the season belonged to Aaron Martin, and the free kick. No new sponsorship deals this year, apparently, despite the fact our sponsorship has gone up by 8 million. Why is this so dumb? Fascinatingly, Baba Mansley ends up in the best 11. He'd averaged 7.02 for the season. I didn't really pick up on that, but Baba Mansley ahead of Hesham is curious because Baba Mansley didn't play anywhere near as many games. Ampadu would have lost in central defence even though they put him in the team the wrong way around, technically. Tiberio actually scored twice. I've lost with only 4 goals in the end. Ampadu scored a corner goal, which is hilarious. Aaron Martin scored once, but 9 assists. Markovic only 2 goals, but he did tend to play a little deeper. 10 assists for him. Baba Mansley 5 goals. More representative of the fact he was typically further forward, although he actually played box-to-box in the first part of the season. So Prazzer, 6 goals from the Strata striker, but only 25 starts, so not kind of neither here nor there. That one, decent amount of assists. Prieto, obviously 13 assists, 22 goals all told. Carlos Eduardo, less assists, but 22 goals as well. and Ciro Fernandez with 18 with 9 assists. Prieto and Fernandez actually ended with exactly the same appearance rate. 37 starts and 2 subs. Player of the season, Prieto, of course. I won one manager of the month. November. Carlos Eduardo, young player of the season, still at 24, signing Prazert. How is Prazert signing the season when Pereira ended up with a 7.5? Goal of the season, the free kicker, as we just saw there. Top goal scorer, technically joined, but Eduardo, 22. Prieto, obviously, most assists, most player of the matches, and highest rating. And that's that. So, record for the worst discipline, 12 yellows and 2 reds in the FA Cup. Oh no, sorry, 14 yellows and 2 reds for us. Prieto goes straight in at the front. I say straight in, he's been here 6 months already before that, so 18 months total for Prieto now, but goes straight into the 11. Up front, Carlos Eduardo, Martin Saunders, and Avalos. Avalos in the 11, Eduardo and Saunders on the bench. No, Saunders is actually on the right wing, remarkably. But Josh Key still at right back, Stubbs still in the central defence, Tyler Morton still in our midfield, along with Sonny Perkins and Fuad Sule. Markovic inexplicably has not moved into the best 11, nor has Baba Mansley, who have been here for about 3 years. Sule's position is baffling, still being here. What's Che Dunkley been up to, by the way? He's been hired and sacked as the manager of Crewe this past year, and that's it. Meanwhile, Tom Ince is an unemployed loan manager, which we joked about before, I've just remembered. We know Morton's at Sheffield, we know Sonny Perkins is at West Ham, of course. Michael Berith went to Peterborough, actually. He was sold by Tanana after being absolutely terrible for them, and is now being terrible for Peterborough instead. 1.5 million Tanana bought him for. What a waste of money that was. I don't know what happened to the Berith that was at Exeter, because, good lord, he's actually linked up with Sam Stubbs at Peterborough, in fact. And you may remember Good Johnson, of course, from the early years of the Premier League, when we picked him up from Real Madrid. Nice little profit maker in the end was he. 4 million we picked him up, flipped him to Norwich for 11.5 a couple of seasons later. Didn't do great for Norwich. Has now been sold to Wolfsburg, of all teams. Will accept division. What do they actually want next season mid-table? Champions League, reach group stage minimum. Well, good news, we're there. But yeah, mid-table is what the board wants, so mid-table is what I will tell them. Mid-table finish, there we are. Good account of ourselves. Brilliant. There we are. Ooh, training camp destination. I get to choose for the first time. I mean, surely we've got to raise our profile somewhere. We'll go to the US. Our good financial performance in recent times has allowed us to pay off the remaining debts. And why did you get our loan out in the first place? They've just taken they've just wiped that 17 million loan. Although, where did it come out? Oh, there's 40 million left. So we now have, so our balance is now effectively our transfer budget. It's exactly the same there or thereabouts. But it does give me a little bit more wiggle room in the transfer market now, because I am aware, of course, of money coming in from the Champions League as well, which will help us keep us in the positive. A new soft drinks partnership. I'm trying to think if there's anything else important happening. Sorry, minor diversion, but I just saw that Weymouth won in the League 2 playoffs. Grimsby promoted, which means they'll join Lincoln in League 1. Nice to have a derby back again. Bromley are going to be promoted as well. Port Vale versus Weymouth. Port Vale, who were relegated in the first season of this actual save. So it's 2 teams that start in the Vanarama, or lower, in the playoff final, and one that starts in the Vanarama, automatically promoted in the first place. Walsall are going to be relegated. MK Dons on the verge of being relegated as well. Good lord, what is going on in the lower leagues? League One's a bit boring. Birmingham and Coventry obviously relegated at some point recently and are going to be re-promoted. Meanwhile, Lincoln survived quite nicely. And Bournemouth and Brighton will be back in the Premier League. Brighton after a few years out, actually, and Norwich for a few years out as well. They've been absent for a couple of years. We'll play Huddersfield in the final. I mean, it'll be a travesty if Norwich don't get promoted there. Good lord. Southampton mid-table. Has Southampton still got anyone vaguely decent? Not especially. Meanwhile, Juan Carlos Benavidez, who helped Lincoln to that promotion last year, now gets the Scottish top goal scorer. The Sidge Premiership Top Goal Scorer Award, 22 goals and 38 appearances for Kilmarnock, who ended up 4th. They were only promoted again 2 years ago. Kilmarnock, who started the game in the second tier of Scotland, only promoted the year before, got 5th last year, and got 4th this year thanks to Benavidez's goals, and will get Euro Cup 2 action as a result. Good work. Good work, Benavidez. It's a pity he's still not actually that good overall. He did have a hefty extension clause, which I triggered, so he's got 3 more years. So that Man City final should be around about here. There we go. Man City do indeed win the Europa League, which was expected considering the opposition. No disrespect to Gladbach, but it's Manchester City they're playing, who have Mbappe. To make it 4 in a row for English teams, 5 in 6 as well, with It's an interesting list of winners, though. PSG in the first year, Man City recently, but the ones in between are actually kind of fair enough when you consider well, they are. Barcelona in the game are typically better than probably Barcelona in real life are. Champions League final doesn't have an English side in it, so there's no more automatics to be handed out there. So it will be 5 Champions League teams next year with Newcastle in the Europa League and Everton in the Conference League. Leicester, of course, by way of... Oh, Leicester just won the Europa Conference League as well while they're at it. So there's another Europa League team in there. 8 English teams in Europe next year. That's going to provide a little bit of carnage, I think, when it comes to the league, especially with Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea not being 3 of those 8. That is quite ridiculous. Man United, Spurs, Manchester City, fair enough. Wolves and Exeter in the Champions League. Newcastle, Everton and Leicester in Europa and Conference, respectively. That is so bizarre. 8 teams in Europe and 3 of them aren't Arsenal, Liverpool or Chelsea. Well then, that will cause carnage in the Premier League next year. It's going to cause carnage in the transfer market. It's especially baffling because Arsenal won the Premier League last year and then immediately don't get Europe the year afterwards. Classic Arsenal, I guess, I suppose. Liverpool first time not in Europe, probably in this entire save. And Chelsea haven't been in Europe for a couple of years, maybe 3 years at this point. A couple of their players might be getting a little tetchy on that front. The only concern, of course, is it is Chelsea and therefore their wage demands will be absurd. So whether we manage to nick anyone off them remains to be seen, I suppose. Yeah, if there's any left backs in those three teams there that want to come join Exeter in the Champions League, then I'll take you on. Aaron Martin's 31 now. He's not getting any younger, unfortunately. Got one more good year with us, I imagine, at least. But if we can make a market improvement now, then I'll take it. Sorry, Aaron. Second best player in the division. I'm looking to replace him. It's a cruel business. It's a cruel business. Until next time, thank you for joining me. If you haven't done so already, like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal by now. Helps everything out. Until next time, ta-ra.